Hi, this is Jason Fielder with the Daily Forex Report for November 12th. We're taking a look at the US-Japanese yen pair. I'm expecting this pair to move as high as 98.83 on the very high side and 93.50 on the low side. I am looking for some resistance to come into this market if it does move higher at around 96.00. As far as support goes, looking for pretty much our lower range target for that support in this market. Now, if you saw yesterday's video, we talked about the fact that this particular pair should be moving lower, and today it did that. It broke through. Hopefully you took the trade and caught this large move down to to the downside for this pair. But let's take a look at the Euro USD pair. This pair moved up more than it moved down today. Did close down though for this session. I'm looking for this particular session to move between 127.19 on the high side, on the low side 123.47. Look for some resistance around the 125.27 area. And as far as support, I'm looking for support to hit right around this same area, around 123.47. This pair, I believe, is moving sideways, but has a downward bias. If we get another large breakout below these two session low, we could see this pair move out of the range that it's been in and move much lower, much quicker. Now let's take a look at the pound US dollar pair. This particular pair surged lower today. I'm expecting it to move between 150.589 on the high side and on the lower side 144.34. Look for some resistance around the 152.64 level, and as far as support, I'm looking at the same area around the 1.4434 point. Now, if you notice, we broke some significant support, significant historical support. So you should be short this particular pair. If you're not, it definitely we're definitely in a downward trend. Now, how long it will last, I'm not sure. We were triggered to go short, around these two bars. Definitely at the break of this support, you should recognize that it's in a downward trend at this point. Now, looking at the U.S. Swiss, this particular pair closed down, but it did move much further down. Only closed a little bit down for the day or for the session. I'm looking for this pair to move between 119.79 on the higher side and on the lower side 116.91. Now look for some resistance to come in this market around 11900, and as far as support, look for support around 1.1800. This pair is moving higher. The bias is to the upside, so we'll just have to wait and see. Now you could probably draw some trend lines looking for a break of these. I know that's not exactly straight, but draw some trend lines looking for a break of this low to maybe go to the downside and look for targets on previous lows. Not sure if that will occur or not, but it's something to look at. Something else I've been looking at, and we talked about this earlier this week and last week, was the pound Japanese yen pair. This particular pair had two inside bars back to back, 2 weeks. We got a break today of this low, just barely. Basically, this session's low, or I'm sorry, this week's low is at 140.64. Right now, as you see, we're at 141.45. Basically, if you look for this low to be taken out during this week, this session's low, that is going to be at 139.00. That's a difference of 164 pips for this particular trade. So it's definitely something worth noting that it has broken. It's also worth noting that if you didn't get in on that break, it has pulled back above it, which is a good thing. If it pulls back and then surges back through it, the odds are even better that it will continue down to this point prior to this week's closing on Friday. So that's definitely something to keep an eye on. Now, the New Zealand dollar had their retail sales come out today. It was worse than expected at 0.1%, down from 0.4%. This probably helped the New Zealand US dollar to move lower today. Now, we have the Canadian dollar releasing their international merchandise trade report for September, and that's being released at 8:30 a.m. tomorrow. The consensus is that it has dropped from 5.8 billion to 5.3 billion. Not too significant of a drop if that is what the numbers come out to be, but you definitely should take note of that. At the same time, we have the U.S. trade balance being released for September at 8:30 a.m. Eastern Time tomorrow, and that is a significant news release. It does have a tendency to move the market, especially when the numbers are off from what's expected. So pay attention to that one. That could be a good trading opportunity. And that's the consensus on that is that it has dropped from negative 59.1 billion to negative 57.0 billion. Actually, the trade balance has gone up because it's going from a lower negative to a higher negative on that. Well, that about does it for today. Until tomorrow, this is Jason Fielder. Good trading.